That's a paranormal story for you. No, this next one is by Flamin' Spaghetti, and I've titled it Flamin' Spaghetti and the Boredom Ghost. My first paranormal experience was seeing a full-body apparition when I was 8 or 9. It was a tall man in a suit and bow tie standing in the hallway, leaning against the wall. He looked exactly how you'd have expected him to, translucent with a ghostly, bluish look. I was tying my shoes, and when I looked up, I saw him. I was shocked and terrified, but in retrospect, he never did anything threatening. His expression was one of almost boredom. He was simply looking at me in a disinterested fashion. Like, ugh, human, do something fancy, please. He is wearing a bow tie after all, so he's probably expecting grandeur, you know?
Yeah, bow ties have significance.
Absolutely.
I can't say that, but
yeah,
you know what I meant.
I know what you mean sometimes. I jumped to my feet and ran out the front door toward my mom. She was starting her car. It was cold that morning. I took one look back at him, and he was still there, but he had moved his head from looking down where I was sitting in the chair to looking directly at me. If I only saw him once, I'd be open to the possibility that I may have seen some sort of incredibly bizarre and seemingly irreproducible trick of the light. But the second look back told me everything I needed to know. He was really there, and he really did see me. I didn't really know about the concept of residual hauntings back then, or at least I don't think I did. But looking back on it now that I'm older, him following me with his gaze is proof that he was consciously aware of my presence and that he wasn't some sort of residual being. I've experienced more stuff, but that was the only time that I can recall that I've ever fully seen something paranormal. I've heard, smelled, and even felt other things, but I've never seen anything else. The whole smelling thing is funny. It's like ghosts going around, crop dust in the joint. Like that is kind of enough to, if you're someone that experiences this, that is something that would prove it for you, that you're like, okay, so it wasn't like a trick of the light. It was nothing. This thing literally followed me when I was here and it was staring at me and it freaked me out. Then I ran over here to my mom and I looked back and now he's looking at me.
Probably wondering what the hell's wrong with that little kid. Why didn't the mom beat him? But also,
there you go. That's the content we're looking for.
Yeah.
Beat your children.
I mean, I'm just talking an old school ghost with a bow tie. Kind of reminds me of a scary character from one of the Poltergeist movies. It was this priest, and he, you know, I was a teenager at the time that this movie came out.
Yeah.
But the commercial would scare the crap out of me because this guy was so creepy. And that's the image I got through that story, was this creepy old school priest guy that would burn you at the stake if you
didn't tie your shoes properly.
Yeah, and ran to your mom.
We've kind of touched on this in the past, but I don't really fully understand, and nobody does, and maybe that's why it's all weird and nothing makes sense, but why would it show itself to you in just something as mundane as you tying your shoes and getting ready to go out to the car, but never show up anywhere again?
Head rush from tying your shoes, maybe. I don't know.
Wow. That is a stretch. Yeah. He's like, whoa. Oh, God, a ghost. I got to tie my shoes a little more cautiously next time.
Maybe, you know, maybe there's a whole thing in childhood that this happens a lot, because we hear a lot of children's stories or childhood stories where there's something weird like this. And that's the only time somebody really experiences it, when they're a child.
But do you think it is like a situation where like maybe the veil is thinner for children and they can kind of pierce that, not to reference an emo band again, but like where they're just more susceptible to seeing that stuff? It doesn't have to. I know you're probably like, oh, brain development, and you know, sometimes things fire off weird and you
I'm going to say
stuff.
That when you're a child, magic is real. And as you grow up, it's kind of like taken out of you by society, by your parents, you know, looking to take care of you. But sometimes they stamp out that, you know, imagination that may see, you know, the other side of the veil.
Ghosts.
Yeah. Or whatever those things are. They may not be ghosts. They may be something else, but...
Blue dead Jedi ghosts with bow ties.
There's no proof it was a Jedi.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing that we're lingering on.
Yeah, the Jedi are gone. You got to let it go, man.
Sorry.
It's just a ghost.
That was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's about time that I release it.
Yeah.